Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Saira Mushtaba with the midday news. The headlines. Stalemate in Parliament continues for 10th consecutive day over Adani Group matter and Congress leader Rahul Gandhi's remarks on Indian democracy. Government to hold review meeting with states amid rise in influenza and COVID-19 cases. Met Department forecasts fresh spell of rainfall over northwest India from Wednesday night. Second Environment and Climate Sustainability Working Group meeting under India's G20 presidency begins in Gandhinagar. Protests erupt in Israel over sacking of Defence Minister Yoav Gallant for criticizing judicial reforms. And now the news in detail. Stalemate in both the Houses of Parliament continues for the 10th consecutive day today on issues of Joint Parliamentary Committee probe into the Adani Group matter and Congress leader Rahul Gandhi's remarks on Indian democracy. Amid ruckus, Lok Sabha was adjourned till 4 p.m. while Rajya Sabha till 2 p.m. In Lok Sabha, when the House met this morning, members from Congress, DMK and others trooped into the well, raising slogans in favour of their demand for a JPC probe into the Adani Group matter, alleged misuse of central agencies and other issues. Members from Congress, DMK and some other opposition parties were seen wearing black clothes to register their protest. Amid pandemonium, Speaker Om Birla adjourned the House till 4 p.m. minutes after it met for the day. In Rajya Sabha, similar scenes were witnessed. Members from opposition parties including Congress, DMK, TMC, BRS and others raised slogans demanding JPC probe into the Adani Group matter and other issues. Treasury bench members reiterated their demand, seeking Mr. Gandhi's apology for his remarks. Opposition members were seen wearing black clothes in the House. Amid it, Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar adjourned the House till 2 p.m. Opposition parties today staged a protest march from Parliament House complex to Vijay Chowk. They were demanding a JPC probe on the Adani Group matter, alleged misuse of central enforcement agencies and disqualification of Congress MP Rahul Gandhi from Lok Sabha. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge, Party Leader Sonia Gandhi, T.R. Balu of DMK, Sushil Gupta of Aam Aadmi Party, Professor Ram Gopal Yadav of Samajwadi Party, K. Keshav Rao of BRS, Ilham Maram Karim of CPIM, Priyanka Chaturvedi of Shiva Sena UBT, Manoj Jha of RJD and others joined the protest. Some opposition members were wearing black clothes as a mark of protest over the issues. Earlier, the opposition parties held a meeting in the chamber of Congress President to chalk out their strategies in Parliament. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur today took a dig at Congress and other opposition parties who were protesting wearing black clothes in Parliament. Talking to media outside Parliament, Mr. Thakur alleged that Congress leader Rahul Gandhi continuously insulted the OBC community and did not apologize to them. He said the Congress leader is not ready to accept the verdict of the court. Mr. Thakur clarified that disqualification of Mr. Gandhi is based on court's verdict and Lok Sabha Speaker only followed it.
अहंकार इतना ज्यादा राहुल गांधी जी का है कि वो पिछड़े समाज से माफी तो नहीं मांगी, कोर्ट में भी माफी नहीं मांगी। कोर्ट का जब आदेश आ गया तो उसको भी मानने के लिए तैयार नहीं। ये आदेश कोर्ट का है। स्पीकर को तो केवल उस पर पुष्टि करनी है। जिस समय आदेश आया उसी समय से उनकी मेंबरशिप चले गई, सदस्यता चले गई। अब ये नौटंकी किसके लिए है? एक व्यक्ति के लिए संसद के सत्र को नहीं चलने देते। राहुल गांधी सावरकर कभी हो नहीं सकते। सावरकर जी कभी 6 महीने विदेश में घूमने फिरने नहीं जाते।
The government has released over 2,646 crore rupees to special window for affordable and mid-income housing Swamehe Fund till the 17th of this month. In a written reply in Lok Sabha, Minister of State for Finance Pankaj Chaudhary said the fund has delivered over 22,500 homes so far. He said Swamehe provides funding to stressed and stalled mid-income and affordable housing projects across the country. The government today said it is providing 15 lakh rupees per Van Dhan Vikas Kendra under the Pradhan Mantri Van Dhan Vikas Yojana PMJVM for the support of livelihood activities of tribal people in the country. In a written reply to Lok Sabha, Union Minister of Tribal Affairs Arjun Munda said, under the PMJVM scheme, One Vandhan Vikas Kendra caters to a group of 300 beneficiaries and it is constituted of 15 self-help groups. Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan will hold a meeting with states' health secretaries and senior officers through video conferencing this evening to review the preparedness for COVID-19. This high-level review meeting comes in the backdrop of a spike in influenza and COVID-19 cases in the country in the past few weeks. Recently, the Union Health Secretary and ICMR Directorate General, Dr. Rajiv Behel, issued a letter to the states and UT's chief secretaries and senior health officers regarding keeping a close watch on the evolving causes of diseases related to influenza virus. Last week, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had also chaired a high-level meeting to assess the COVID-19 and influenza situation in the country. During the meeting, he assessed the preparedness of health infrastructure and logistics, status of the vaccination campaign, emergence of new COVID-19 variants and influenza types and their public health implications for the country. The country has registered 1,805 new cases of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. The Union Health Ministry stated that 932 people have recovered during the same period. The recovery rate is currently 98.79%. India's active caseload currently stands at over 10,000 and it stands at 0.02%. The ministry said over 1,700 vaccine doses of COVID-19 were administered in the last 24 hours under the nationwide vaccination drive. So far, over 220 crore 65 lakh vaccine doses have been administered across the country. President Draupadi Murmu arrived in Kolkata this morning on a 2-day official visit. She was received by Governor of West Bengal, Dr. C.V. Anand Bose, State Municipal Affairs and Urban Development Minister Farhad Hakim. The President was given a ceremonial guard of honor by 3 Indian Defence Forces and State Police at the airport. Thereafter, Ms. Murmu was flown to the city by helicopter and was received at RCTC helipad ground, Kolkata Maidan, by Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee and Governor Dr. C.V. Anand Bose and others. The President visited Netaji Bhavan to pay floral tributes to one of the greatest icons of the Indian freedom struggle, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. The President will also visit Joroshanko, the birthplace of Rabindranath Tagore, to pay homage to the great poet. The West Bengal government will be giving a civic reception to Ms. Murmu on her first visit to the state after becoming the President of India. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. Welcome back. You're listening to Midday News. The second Environment and Climate Sustainability Working Group meeting under India's G20 presidency began today with a presentation by G20 member countries on best practices about water resources management. The 3-day meeting is being held at Mahatma Mandir Convention and Exhibition Centre at Gandhinagar in Gujarat. Around 130 delegates from G20 member countries, along with 11 invitee countries and 14 international organizations, are participating in the event. The meeting focuses on thematic areas like arresting land degradation, accelerating ecosystem restoration, and enriching biodiversity, encouraging resource efficiency and circular economy, and promoting a sustainable and climate-resilient blue economy. Talking exclusively to AIR News, Special Secretary, Department of Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation, Debashri Mukherjee said that the meeting mainly focuses on water resources management as it is very important in the context of climate change.
इस मीटिंग का मुख्य फोकस वाटर मैनेजमेंट पर है, पर क्लाइमेट चेंज के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में और भी ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है, क्योंकि क्लाइमेट चेंज के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में सभी G20 कंट्रीज में लंबे ड्राउट स्पेल्स हो रहे हैं, फ्लडिंग हो रहे हैं. कुछ लोगों ने बेसिन लेवल वाटर मैनेजमेंट के बारे में बात किया, इटली ने ड्राउट मैनेजमेंट के बारे में बात किया, चाइना ने ग्राउंड वाटर मैनेजमेंट के बारे में बात किया.
The India Meteorological Department IMD has said that a fresh spell of rainfall with thunderstorm and hailstorm will be observed over northwest India from Wednesday night. IMD said that the isolated hailstorm activity is likely to be observed over Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Punjab, Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan on the 30th and 31st of this month. In an advisory, the IMD cautioned the farmers to postpone harvesting of matured crops in the northwest states of the country. It also advised to drain out excess water from crop fields. IMD said that no heat wave is likely over any part of the country during the next 5 days. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed deep grief over the demise of noted actor and former MP Innocent Wareed Thekatala. In his condolence message, the Prime Minister said he will be remembered for enthralling audiences and filling people's lives with humour. Mr. Modi expressed condolences to his family and admirers. The veteran actor and former Lok Sabha MP Innocent passed away at a private hospital in Kochi last night. He was 75. He was admitted to the hospital earlier this month and was on oxygen support for the past few days as his condition deteriorated. His funeral will take place in Thrissur district this evening. The veteran actor's glorious career in the Malayalam film industry spanned 5 decades. He acted in more than 700 films, mostly handling comedy roles. Considered one of the best comedians in Malayalam cinema, his noted performances include Maravil Kavaridi, Number 20 Madras Mail, Gandhi Nagar 2nd Street, and Dr. Pashupati, among others. Innocent won the Chalakuri parliamentary constituency in the 2014 general elections as an LDF-supported independent candidate, but lost in the 2019 polls. In some international news, in Israel, the sacking of Defense Minister Yoav Gallant over making statement against the justice system reforms has led to massive protests, wherein crowds took to streets across the country and even gathered outside Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's home in Jerusalem today. In a brief statement, the Prime Minister's office said that Netanyahu has decided to relieve Yoav Gallant of his duties. The Defense Minister, explaining his statement against the reforms, cited security concerns and people's protest in Tel Aviv against the proposed law. The new law gives more power to politicians and makes it harder for courts to remove a leader deemed unfit for office. The plan has also been questioned by the country's top supporters, including the United States. In U.S., the death toll from devastating storms in Mississippi has reached 26. President Joe Biden has declared an emergency for the state of Mississippi. The National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center has forecast the likelihood of several tornadoes in southern Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. Mississippi Governor T. Reeves has asked the residents to stay alert as potentially bad weather was on the way. In a tweet, he asked people to keep a track of all weather alerts. 2 people got injured following a shooting incident that took place outside a Gurudwara in California's Sacramento County in the United States. Local media quoted the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office saying that the incident took place in the afternoon on Sunday after a fight ensued between 2 men. The authorities have cleared that the incident is not a hate crime. Sri Lanka's merchandise exports in February fell by 8% with a drop in earnings in the apparel and textile industries. The island's export promotion office said the fall comes as the rupee strengthened steeply amid weak domestic credit and voluntary rupee deposits by commercial banks. The export earnings for the month stood at just over $1 billion. The falling demand in Western markets was attributed to monetary tightening, requiring lower stock holdings as lower volumes make it easier to make deliveries in time. The Foundation of SAARC Writers and Literature, FOSWAL, has conferred a special literary award on Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman posthumously for his trilogy, The Unfinished Memoirs, The Prison Diaries, and The New China 1952. Eminent Punjabi novelist and FOSWAL founder, President Ajit Kaur handed over the award to visiting Bangladeshi writers and researchers Ramendu Majumdar and Mofidul Haq at the festival yesterday. The citation said that Sheikh Mujib is a towering figure of national liberation of oppressed people of the world. Comparing him to Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King, the citation said that no power on earth can erase him from history. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Stalemate in Parliament continues for 10th consecutive day over Adani Group matter and Congress leader Rahul Gandhi's remarks on Indian democracy. Government to hold review meeting with states amid rise in influenza and COVID-19 cases. Met Department forecasts fresh spell of rainfall over northwest India from Wednesday night. Second Environment and Climate Sustainability Working Group meeting under India's G20 presidency begins in Gandhinagar. And protests erupt in Israel over sacking of Defense Minister Yoav Gallant for criticizing judicial reforms. And with that, we end the Midday News.